I can't give live birth because my hips are too narrow.
I'm beautiful. Take me home. That'll be $1,500, please. Thank you.
You don't know this yet, but Instagram's gonna love me when they invent it in 11 years. I'm fine. I was just doing a gag.
Oh, okay. You were doing a bit. Okay. That was a really good bit. You did.
Thank you. I was surprised. Yeah. The one thing I was concerned about was I had to maintain eye contact with myself. Anyway, good thing it's a video podcast and we post the whole thing anywhere. You look good. Don't let your eyes dry out.
I picked a really bad.
Yeah, it's like I have to hold this.
I should do this whenever my eyes are mostly closed. That's much easier.
Or you can just do...
Yeah.
Whenever I have to pick stills for our reels, I'm like, ooh, we make a bunch of faces.
We make some faces.
Few of them attractive.
Welcome
Yes.
to Your Inner Child is an Idiot. This is the podcast where we look back on things from our childhood and see if they were any good to begin with. My name's DJ.
And my name's Damon. Welcome.
I like to say it like it's a poem.
Like we're on NPR.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay.
Donald Trump just bombed his own White House.
Don't stop invoking that name.
Because if we invoke his name, we have to give him 30 seconds on the podcast.
We have to then
That's the rule.
Say it 2 more times and spin in a circle and he appears. Okay, listen. It's the holiday times. It's the winter times.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you some options. Okay?
Are we playing a game?
Yes. Okay. I have a few. And so maybe you could use context clues to think about the movie you want to do or the show or whatever you want to do.
And divert you away from
divert me.
it.
Yeah.
In case you've stolen my thunder.
Here's some general things. You pick one of these and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Is this like that game you would have like in school with the paper thing and you'd open
chess?
it one way?
It's
and
nothing like chess.
No. No. The little open thing, you'd open, it was like a origami thing. You'd open it one way.
It's exactly like euchre. We used to play it in study hall.
You know what? I'm actually getting upset, so I'm just going to move on. It's probably the polyurethane talking, but I'm just getting upset.
I think you might be doing that on purpose. You're willfully saying the wrong
know exactly what origami thing I'm talking about.
Okay, option 1.
Yeah.
90s, seasonally appropriate, weatherly appropriate, but not necessarily a holiday movie. But we genuinely enjoyed this movie.
So something with snow in it.
Yeah. Okay, that's option 1.
Okay.
Option 2, seasonally appropriate. I think there's some Christmases. It'd be like a Christmas adjacent, holiday adjacent movie.
Okay.
Rom-com.
Yeah.
Okay. 90s. Full on Christmas movie, but it's going to be a comedy classic in the early 2000s. And then more obscure, seasonally appropriate.
Is this a fourth
90s.
option?
This is, yes, fourth option.
Okay.
And this one's going to be, I think, the worst option, but also maybe fun to revisit for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I'm going to give you.
That's all you're going to give. I'm
clue.
scared that fourth option is what I've chosen for my interest. So I'm going to divert through schemes and trickery and sleight of hand. Away from that.
This is the way I'm holding my 3. I'm not doing it on purpose, but it looks real weird. Like
your fingers look
alien
spry.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like what's going on. I'm going to put that hand away.
Okay, so the first one was a 90s seasonally appropriate, but not necessarily holiday specific comedy.
It has comedic elements.
But we both love it. You did say that.
Yes.
Huh. And then the second one was a rom-com from the 2000s?
90s.
Oh, from the 90s. Shit. And the last one was from the aughts?
Yes.
The third one was from the aughts?
Yeah.
And that one was holiday, boom, Christmas time.
Yes.
And that was rom-com?
There's com.
Full com. Don't say full com.
Now remember, this isn't the part where we're talking about the movie yet, so maybe you just pick a little faster.
Okay, I'm going to go with number 2.
Number 2. Okay, rom-com from the 90s. Okay, this has someone that we have a friend of the show in the fact that the lead person in this has been in other movies we watched.
Okay.
A couple.
Yeah.
So use that context clue. 90s rom-com, someone we've covered before. Very controversial in the gay community. At least, no, my stance on her is controversial in the gay community, I should say. I think you know who I'm talking about.
When you turn that entire gaggle of gays against you at the Oscars.
That's right.
So this is a Sandy Bullock joint.
It is.
Is it while you were sleeping?
It is. Coma play. Yeah.
Coma play. I knew a guy who was into coma play. Boring.
And it was not hot. While you're sleeping.
I just had to visit him at the hospital and like read books to him. I'm not into that.
If I and just like pretend like he can hear me, even though, okay.
Right. Comb his hair from time to time.
If I recall correctly, and I probably don't,
yeah,
the man is in the coma, right? And she,
Peter Gallagher, I believe, is in the coma.
Classic.
The eyebrows from Canada. I don't know where he's from. He is in it, and Bill Pullman is the man who's awake. That's how you can tell them apart.
Okay, so Bill Pullman is not the love interest. He is
Bill Pullman is the love interest. Okay. You know what? To say any more would be spoilers.
Okay, all right.
But have you seen a rom-com before?
Someone is sleeping, and we're doing things while that's happening.
Correct.
That's all I know about it.
And we are addressing them directly.
I haven't seen this title enough. Is it you, the letter U, like a Prince song, or is it spelled
Sinead
out?
O'Connor made it her own, and that pissed Prince off. And then Sandy Bullock, did her own thing.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing, because I know you won't mention it because you're heterosexual, but there is another person in this movie that we have covered a movie of theirs this year.
Oh, okay.
She plays the matriarch of probably Peter Gallagher's family.
Is it the one who plays Evil Lynn in Masters of the Universe?
Would that I could. Meg Foster? No. It is Glynis Johns, who was the mother in Mary Poppins.
Wow.
Catherine O'Hara Memorial MVP award winner Glynis Johns, lest we forget. She, I believe, plays the grandma in this movie.
So keep an eye out. Silly little suffragette.
Yes. What a fool.
What a fool.
Right when we're taking women's rights to vote away, that we focus on her now.
Well, we've finally learned the error of our ways.
Yeah.
And turned things around. So
they keep voting for all these empathetic candidates. Not interested.
Do you have specific experiences, memories with this movie?
I have seen it.
Okay.
I believe we my father and I typically would have been sent to the video store. It's Showtime Video, which is now a Papa Murphy's Pizzeria.
Yes. It's a popular topic of this podcast.
Run very Christian-like by the Christians who ran it. As you would expect, by definition, Christians to run things.
That's how they do.
I believe me and Dad would have had to compromise and assumed Mom would also like this rom-com, so we brought it home. And I remember nominally enjoying it.
Yeah.
Despite being and remaining a Sandra Bullock
tolerator?
Cynic.
Yeah. I feel like I'm fine with Sandra Bullock. I don't even dislike Sandra Bullock as so much as the sort of like, it's not really happening now, unfortunately, because she's older. So that's a shitty reason. But like there was a time where she was inescapable, and it was one of those just rejection of like, okay, she kind of is not that great, right? And then it was like,
right. But then you were there while she won her Oscar telling a group of gays that Sandra Bullock, we all hate her, right? And they were like, they all were like Marcy Darcy in Fright Night. They all just like had huge grins and started chasing you through a dusty old basement.
They just started.
I know we're not covering Fright Night, but why was his basement already jam-packed with old stuff? He just moved in.
That's That's what he was moving in. He moved in all that stuff.
Go ahead and edit that into the already released episode about Friday Night.
Done. I don't really have anything specific about this. I don't know that I feel like I must have seen this, but I don't recall anything about it.
I remember it feeling very cold to watch. They capture a Chicago, which is where I think it's set because there's an L train and it's cold. And it looks like a very cold film. And
perfect for this.
I love unrequited love. I love loving people from afar and never approaching them until they have a medical event. That is my MO.
I put that in my Grindr profile. Is Grindr still a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, Grindr is the thing.
It's the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
These things usually ebb and flow, so I don't know.
I mean, there are other, you can get on Scruff.
Scruff?
You can get, Scruff is an alternative to Grindr. I think it's a little...
furrow your brow as if I'm supposed to know. Listen, I've been married for a long time, and...
You're not on the apps anymore. You're not on the hookup, the gay hookup apps like you used to be
like
when you were single.
I gave the reason that I'm married, not that I'm straight. That's why I'm not on the apps.
You're just looking for friends. You're looking for other Sandra Bullock haters, and that's why you had to drop off the apps. Guys were interested in other things, and they would get real mad at you when you would badmouth Sandra Bullock.
I think I need to find a straight guy.
They'd hate Sandra Bullock. Oh wait, it's all laden with misogyny. That's not what I'm looking for either.
You're doing it wrong. We're gonna watch While You Were Sleeping. 1995. I think.
Ooh, that feels close. I feel 95 or 96 has to be right.
Yeah, I think it's 95.
Are you looking it up?
No, I feel like you are because you're looking off screen.
I know, but I didn't want to. 1995. Good job.
Yes. Crushed it. We're going to
watch
that.
Peter Boyle is in this.
Oh, perfect. He is my favorite romantic comedy.
He's my favorite Frankenstein.
Friend of...
Yeah, he's my favorite young Frankenstein's monster.
Yes, thank you. We'll be right back.
All right.
Damon. I don't think he's going to wake up. Listen, I'll tell you quietly. There's a way to support the show. An incredibly progressive, groundbreaking comedic sketches like this one that we're doing now. You can get more of that. Patreon.com/YourInnerChild'sAnIdiot is our Patreon page. You can support the show and you can get your name read in the credits. You can get extra episodes. Are you okay? Hey, Damon, while you were sleeping...
What?
I recorded our Patreon ad, so don't worry about it. You know how you're always worrying about it? You're remembering that it's happening?
Idea.
You, I think, broke your mic with that laugh. That's how loud that was. That's how boisterous your laughter.
It's a funny joke, the idea that I cared.
Patreon.com/YourInnerChild'sAnIdiot. He cares about you. He just doesn't care about the
absolutely. I just don't care about the ads.
Yeah. Okay, we are back. We watched While You Were Sleeping, starring it's a turtle taub joint. I think everybody knows that.
Big turtle taub.
Sandy Bullock, William Pullman, Peter Gallagher,
Peter Boyle,
Glynis Johns.
There was some Jack Warner. Jack Warner.
Otherwise known as Pops from Dirty Work. That's what I know him as.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know him as Dr. Ludwig Bessner in the 70s version of Death on the Nile.
Was that better than the one that just came out? Because that was
yes, it is hands down better. I don't know if you would like it as a heterosexual, but I love it. Mainline it into my eyeballs. Love it.
It's a well-known fact that straight guys hate murder, you know?
And I love it. I just like it. Okay. Especially if it's an exotic locale, full of, British colonialism and aristocracy. I love a class system. You know me. I love a class system.
Where our main character in this movie is in that she's in the working class.
Oh, blue collar.
Lucy works for the CTA, the Chicago Transit Authority. She's just a, I don't know what you would call her position, because I want to say toll booth operator, but that's not what it is. She collects the tokens for people coming on the L. L.
And an L, I'm sorry, L.
An elevated
Oh,
train?
So it doesn't start with L.
No, it starts with L, like Kal-El from
thank you for putting it in language I would understand.
She's a lonely gal. She's just working. But there's this guy. He comes in every day between, I can't remember the times that she says that he comes every morning. And
8:04 and 8:15.
He doesn't even look at her, which is telling. But she's got a little crush on him. And then one day, where she's working Christmas Day, because she ain't got no family. And so her boss asks her to work. She works. And he comes and she kind of misses her chance. But as she's watching some, I wouldn't even say street toughs, some just like dickhead teens push him onto the tracks and then run away, and she saves his life, but he's in a coma. While she is visiting him, through a series of misunderstandings that could easily have been solved at any moment, she is mistaken for his fiance, and his whole family comes, and they sort of adopt her, and not officially, but unofficially, and she is irresistibly charmed by them. She has this fantasy of being with him and being engaged to him, and she loves his family. And then, obviously, chaos ensues because she keeps subterfuging this whole family. And then, Peter's brother shows up. His name's Jack. He's played by Bill Pullman. He's very charming, and he might actually have a spark with her and actually speaks to her.
He potentially has even floppier hair than Peter Gallagher.
His devil may even care less than Peter's. And he, of course, that's complicated because she is quote unquote engaged to his brother who's in a coma. Eventually, Peter comes out of the coma.
Not only an asterisk after that sentence, there's also one of those little daggers. That's how complicated that lie is.
You're going to want to see the footnotes of the footnotes for this one.
Mm-hmm. There's some superscripts hanging out there.
It seems that the writing of Josephus around this time indicated that Jack was actually a half-brother. So, sorry, that was a study Bible reference. So, listen.
Ooh, there's a diagram of the temple on this page. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, make reading the Bible fun by learning something. She
said all this fucking words everywhere. I got some footnotes to look at. Can learn that way. Don't have to read this Bible part. I can just look at these footnotes.
Things get complicated. She's finding herself in love with Jack. Peter comes out of his coma and he's like, I remember the combination to my locker in school. I do not remember you. I remember literally everything else. And her family's like, ah. But eventually when she goes to marry Peter, the coma guy, at the chapel in the hospital, because
don't even go home, they say. Even if, there's no reason to have the wedding at the chapel.
It seems like you're fine to go home,
else.
I guess. Although I think they'd probably want to keep you for at least a few days after a coma. So,
well, it was Epiphany by the time she was taking down her tree at one point. So, according to the Gregorian calendar, it was at least January 6th.
Ooh.
So she's in the clear.
That's why? Where was Sandra Bullock on January 6th? Tell me. So,
where were you on January 6th in 1995? It's not important what year.
1995. I was taking down.
I guess I was taking down my tree with my cat.
So, she's about to go ahead and marry this guy because why not? And then, she objects to her own wedding. She can't keep this lie up. Finally, I guess, and tells everyone
the stress got too much for her on, at any point she could have stopped this, but this was the moment where she had to draw the line that she had drawn in the first place. Wait,
listen, I will do a lot of things to live out my fantasies, but I will not take married people tax benefits. I refuse.
I'll do a lot of things,
to defraud
but
the
I
US
won't
government.
lie for longer than a fortnight.
That was the original title of the Meatloaf song, but it didn't work out. So calls it off. And meanwhile, Peter's actual kind of fiance, lady that he asked to marry, but said no because she's married to someone else. But she said yes on an answering machine, we found out, but he's a piece of shit. So anyway, she, who is also a piece of shit, runs away. But then guess what? She's back at work. She's back at work. You're not going to believe this.
Don't tell me.
Floppy Hair 2, the floppiest, comes by with the whole family, even weirder, and proposes, and she gets married to Jack, and they live happily ever after, I guess.
Presumably. They did get married on the CTA.
She's got to see Peter at family functions. That's kind of weird.
That's fine.
Yeah. They seem to have forgiven her, and Jack has definitely forgiven her, and they get to go to Florence on their honeymoon, which is a thread that I kind of forgot about until the very end.
We can talk about all those threads. Can I do something real quick, unrelated to this podcast? Tippi, as is her wont, she opened the door, came in, did a lap around the legs of the table, and then walked right out again. Doors wide open.
Not big on latches.
She isn't.
No, you.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, I get nervous that she's going to, and it's not important.
There's nothing I can do about this cat that keeps gently pushing my unlatched door open. I can't think of a single thing that I can do to make this cat stop gently pushing my unlatched door open. What could I do to prevent this? If only people had come up with any way to secure doors more forcefully.
I know. I secretly want her to come in here and lay down.
Yeah.
But I also somehow want her to also close the door.
Listen, all everyone wants, including me, is Tippi to just be on this podcast. I want her to, you know what you should do?
I hope we edit that clip where she pops in.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not saying anything terrible or like my social security number.
I don't remember. I never remember what you're saying. But I do remember your social security number, and it's 11. Okay.
I was the first person. FDR was like, we're going to test it on this kid first.
I'm going to find his social security number. 0000001 00002. Okay. What else?
Hey, I want to do something we've never done before.
Okay.
I would like to go into the problematic corner and not leave for the entire episode.
Okay. Let's make ourselves comfortable. Let's get in there.
Watch out now, y'all. Damon's got a problem. Baby.
Yeah, put out some beanbag chairs. I'd like to sit down and not be able to get up, please.
Damon's got a big old problem, and it's about 45 minutes long. Let's find out about it. What's going on?
Well, you sent me a screenshot of your notes, which was problematic corner the whole movie. I couldn't agree more.
Let's be accurate. Accuracy in journalism, it said Probcorn.
You're absolutely right. And I apologize
little name
to the
for
listeners.
It. Yeah.
We'll put that on page 6.
It's retraction.
I know I've referenced this Onion article in the past, but this feels like the quintessential rom-com where you should not be doing anything that the lead character is doing. That Onion article, romantic comedy behavior gets real life man arrested. This is insane. This movie is insane. The premise of this movie is problematic.
The perfect encapsulation of this is
do this.
That the original script, or you could just do this in your head, reverse the typical gender roles, right? Make it a straight man that pretends a comatose woman, straight woman's.
Actually, just that made me supremely uncomfortable.
Right?
Sent a chill down my spine. When you said comatose woman, I was, absolutely not.
Right. Now, there's reasons for that. That is not the fault of this movie, but it is something to remember, is that just because she's a charming lady doesn't mean that this is okay in any way, shape, or form. And as we touched on in the recap, so many chances.
Oh my God.
Almost every scene.
I kept thinking of this movie from the writers', there were 2 of them, point of view. And it feels like they had the premise and they had to work backwards to Act 1. And then they sweated their way through Act 3. Act 1, their challenge was, we have to get to the premise of her having convinced a comatose man's family that she is engaged to said man. But we have to establish that she is lonely, but we also have to establish her as charming and not scary and terrifying.
Yeah.
And they do, I mean, Sandra Bullock goes a long way in helping that.
Yeah.
And then the Act 3 problem is like, now how do we resolve this issue happily?
Yeah.
Because now she's in love with a brother, so she's going to have to maintain a relationship with this family.
Fell in love with a brother. Sorry.
And the last act is probably the one that annoyed me the most. I was I was like, get on with it. There's a lot of like, it feels like they were sort of treading water, waiting for like a rowboat to materialize in front of them. And they were like, I think she's just going to have to tell them. There's no way out of this.
How do we get her to not tell them, but still resolve this movie and not lie to these people for the rest of her life? Just because this is an audio medium and I can't get it out of my head, but Bill Pullman's white. She did not fall in love with the brother. She fell in love with Peter's brother.
Right. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. I just wanted, just in case no one's seen this, and then we're trying to.
And when I said the family, I did not mean Sly and the Family Stone. That's not what I meant either.
And when you say Stone, I don't mean the Rolling Stones. I mean, okay. And when you say Sly Stone, you don't mean Sylvester Stallone, because those names are very similar.
Because that would also be confusing.
Yeah.
And when I say Sly, I don't mean duplicitously clever. That's also not what
when you say Sly, I don't mean Spy versus Spy, the Mad Magazine cartoon. So I don't know. Okay, so I understand that this is a movie. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I like that you came away at least with that knowledge.
But I just mean, like, you know, a lot of times that's the answer to why didn't this character X, Y, and Z? And you're like, because it's a movie. But I'm also like, yeah, but I just think this is a different reading 30 years ago.
Ooh, come on, Deej.
Literally, this is the 30th anniversary of this movie. And I blame
Don't
you.
make that sound.
Actually, it's past because it came out on April 21st, 1995. So.
Oh, that's weird.
30 and a half, at least.
And let's not put years on it because it's my birthday. So, let's, as your birthday gift to me, don't mention how many years it's been since 1995.
I just think as a society, maybe I'm only speaking for myself, but we have maybe woken up to some things, you know?
Awoken. Yeah, we're awake in a lot of ways to systemic problems of women tricking comatose patients' families into thinking she has a relationship with a person that does not exist.
That's all of season 2 of The Pit is going to be about how often that happens. And
how often Noah Wiley assumes that this woman says, but I was going to marry him, means that they have some sort of agreement to get married.
Let's go ahead and talk about the nurse, because she's a very minor character.
Rhonda?
Is her name Rhonda?
I believe so.
Right. Let's see if I can find the actress's name. By the way, screenplay by Daniel G. Sullivan and Frederick Lebo. So.
Pseudonyms.
Are they?
They're both Stephen King.
Oh, wow. Directed by, while I'm looking up this nurse, directed by John Turteltaub, who also directed, friend of the podcast, Phenomenon. The movie is a friend of the podcast.
When I saw his name over the credits, over the L Train tracks of the credits, I was like, that name does feel familiar. And I did look him up. I didn't catch that he did Phenomenon, but he did do both of the National Treasures. He did Cool Runnings. He did also the original Three Ninjas.
Oh, yeah. Not Knuckle Up. He didn't get to do
No. Let's not go giving him credit where no credit is due. But he did do Three Ninjas Standard Recipe. Here's the other thing I have a problem with. The movie really sort of drives home that Sandra Bullock is lonely. Yes. And this is, again, goes back to...
Those are the two important things about her. She fucking lonely. Lives the shit out of Chicago. She lives...
She is walking across the Chicago River.
She works
at the L. It's fucking cold. She wants mustard on her hot dog. she could not be more Chicago if she turned into Shea Stadium?
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field. Yeah. Edit that so I know what I'm talking about. But so I feel like the script and how people react to human beings in this state are in conflict, in that it wants her to be lonely because that would give her a reason to keep lying.
Yeah.
But also the demands of a movie means that she has to explain her point of view to something. And so it gives her friend upon friend upon friend. She constantly is interacting with her boss, who she has a very friendly relationship with. Yep. She's interacting with the woman she shares the booth with, her coworker, who eventually she goes to a New Year's Eve party with. She has a very good relationship with her super and a problematic relationship with her super son, which is like oddly creepy, but also kind of cute and queer-coded, ?
He likes to wear women's shoes.
He also talks with his hands. It might be Italian thing, but he also like does like a talk to the hand motion a lot. That was interesting.
I'm interested.
So I kept forgetting that the script was literally telling me how lonely she is because she was constantly being surrounded by people who loved her. Outside of the family, like she was constantly surrounded by friends and loved ones. Even at one point, like during an interstitial scene, she's walking out of her fucking apartment and someone's like, "Hey, Lisa," like a group of tenants walking past her. It was like all greeting her by name. I'm like, this isn't really a lonely,
but they
doesn't seem like a
Lisa,
lonely
and her
woman.
Name's Lucy. So.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they called her Lucy. I couldn't remember her name, nor her hot dog order.
I do think there's like I'm with you. I do agree that was kind of a rock and hard place for the movie. They needed to show that she's charming and, not a psychopath. Well, she is.
While she acts like a psychopath.
Right. Because she's doing this kind of egregious thing, but she also, is charming to these other people. She's also explaining what's going on, as you said. But also there is a difference between, she doesn't have a romantic relationship. She seems to desperately want one.
Yeah.
Or at least just has a crush, and she just like feels like she's rudderless. And we do hear her tragic backstory is that her mom died when she was young, and then her dad got sick. They moved to Chicago to get him into a research trial, or what do you call it?
A research hospital.
Yeah, research hospital for trial medication or something for whatever he had, and then he died like a year ago. And it also explains her big clothes because she's wearing his big coat that they mentioned. They don't mention that they are his sweaters, but it seems like that's like her vibe.
Okay, cute.
Or maybe just because she had the coat, it made her realize, hey, I look cute in these big baggy clothes. And also it's 4 degrees outside. So
all the time. It's July.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I understood that they were sort of stuck in this situation, and I understand she doesn't have romantic love, but like the way they were portraying how lonely she seemed to go beyond like romantic love into like, I have no one to spend any time with or talk to. Now, excuse me as I talk to literally everyone around me about my problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And they didn't, and it seems like she probably could have gone to her friend's house on Christmas. It seems like she could have gone to, it seems like they didn't somebody invite her to something on Christmas this year? Maybe that was Joe Jr. So maybe I can understand that.
No, it's problematic. The other thing was, the Act 3 drove me insane because she has this relationship with Saul, who is like the godfather of Peter, who's like a really close friend of the family.
Pops.
He has found out, that's Jack Warner's character. He discovers early on like the charade going on. And unlike any human being that would ever exist, he's like, no, let's keep this charade going. I'm fine with you lying to my close friends, pretending to have a relationship that you don't actually
not only
have.
is
I'm fine with that.
Not only is he fine with it, he tells her not to tell them.
Yes.
So that's kind of the motivating factor. If we're going to give her any credit, it's that he's someone who knows this family is very well and is, part of the family, is like, don't tell them. And so she's like, I can't tell them because this guy, who I also just met, but who's been very nice to me, told me not to tell them because it'll break their heart. And
then throughout Act 3, he's like, I'm going to tell them, don't worry about it. And he keeps not telling them. The first time he does that is very funny and has like a visual gag where he's like, I'm going to tell him right now. I'm going to tell him right now. And he's like sort of walking her out and the camera's behind them.
The other way.
And he just walks an opposite direction from her. But then like that happened, like that joke that he's going to tell him real soon, like happens 2 more times in Act 3. Yeah. And like, can we wrap this up? Like once Peter Gallagher was awake, I thought there was like 15 minutes left in the movie. I was like, okay, this is our Act 2 break and now we're going to wrap things up. And it goes on like
did you watch the extended edition?
Possibly. Was there an orc battle in yours?
There was the mouth of Gallagher that comes out. It's really weird scene.
Sandra Bullock. It just kept going. And then, they convinced Peter Gallagher that he has amnesia. And like at that point, my farce meter had run out. My farce meter is usually pretty low. 90 minutes is my limit for a farce. And I couldn't with this. I lost my patience.
Yeah. And she's doing a lot of, I guess you do talk to people in comas, she's doing a lot. The reason that he knows that Saul finds out is that she's sitting by Peter's bedside, telling him basically
returning to the scene of the crime.
Yes. I do think they did a really good job of making the family pretty charming. They all kind of come in as this gaggle of friendly folks and they're just like, who are you? And then they're immediately accept her when they find out from the nurse or whatever that she's the fiance. And then they say fiance 3 different ways. Fiance, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. I will say like the family is one of the highlights of this movie. It gave me a lot of, what's the word? It gave me a little bit like a Home Alone vibes. I feel like the family in Home Alone, they're always just constantly talking over each other. Yeah. And you get sort of snippets of conversation. So I did, I liked them fine. And I think it was smart to like cast a lot of comic actors. Like Peter Boyle is pretty funny. Yeah. Jack Warner is in a lot of comedies. Glynis Johns is delightfully spacey as the grandma.
Yes.
Possibly
I
drunk.
Liked her a lot. She was my favorite. She's probably my Catherine O'Hara Memorial MVP nominee.
We'll have to see if there's a competing nominee.
You're going to nominate Bill Pullman for Leaning.
No, absolutely not. The other thing I would say that is maybe the death knell of any romantic comedy, especially one with as arch a premise as this one, is that I don't think that these 2 people have a lot of chemistry.
Whoa, hold on. We're going to come back to that. I want to keep talking about the family for a second. I feel like this is a romantic comedy trope of sorts because you mentioned it's in, I guess, Home Alone is not a romantic comedy, so just a comedy trope because Home Alone, what's the Nicolas Cage share thing?
Moonstruck.
Moonstruck. I think
My Best Friend's Wedding has a little bit of this.
My Best Friend's Wedding,
all the just giant family.
I think this movie and that movie have a similar comedic vibe as far as which they're romantic comedies, but they're of a type because it's not the same type as say Sleepless in Seattle or whatever. It's like a different kind.
I was going to mention Sleepless in Seattle because I think that is what this movie is cribbing notes from. I think that's what this movie is trying to be. This is we have Sleepless in Seattle at home when you ask your mom to watch it. And
chemistry that they don't have.
First off, Bill Pullman is distrustful of her for the entire movie and vacillates between not trusting her correctly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me go, these 2 should be together. He also, I don't know, there's something about
Sandra,
Pullman.
Go to him.
He sounds like that a lot. He always sounds like he's coming down with something or he's just finding out about his lines in like an earpiece and he's saying them as he's getting them. He's always sort of pausing as he's saying them. They were not working for me. I found it kind of exhausting. Did you think they had a lot of chemistry?
When they start interacting together, you can tell there's an easy connection there. They're kind of joking with each other. They're obviously kind of touching in some ways that if she were engaged would be inappropriate, but since she's not, it isn't. It's actually, I don't know if it's better or worse. I think it's worse. I don't know.
So your ranking is don't physically touch your potential sister-in-law. you can physically touch your sister-in-law. That's the second worst. And then touching a perfect stranger that you're having a flirty connection with. That's your ranking.
I don't think a perfect stranger. They've met, you know?
True, but I mean, she is sitting on a throne of lies.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
I think that I do feel like it's trying to crib from Sleepless in Seattle, because that's also like a morally, I don't want to say morally gray,
dubious.
More like a morally charcoal movie where there is some dubiousness. But
Dubosity.
on the other hand, Tom Hanks, even when he's separate from Meg Ryan, is much more charming.
Well,
than Bill Pullman is. And Meg Ryan, when she is separate from Tom Hanks, also much more charming than Sandra Bullock is in this movie. Because they established like really strong friendships for us to gain more information about their characters. And I feel like this movie doesn't do this. It just feels like
she likes hot dogs. What do you like? What the fuck do you want from this movie?
I like hot dogs too. I like farting myself to sleep.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to wake up in a pile of farts? Do you find Peter Gabriel? Do you find Peter Gallagher?
Gabriel.
Do you find Peter Gallagher not
handsome?
Necessarily handsome? Yeah.
Oh yeah, eyebrows are a big thing for me. I love a thick eyebrow, and he's 80% eyebrow.
On me.
Look at that floppy hair. Yeah, I think he is handsome, and he's got those big bright blue eyes, and he's got those eyelashes like Snuffleupagus. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Peter Gallagher.
More than Bill Pullman.
Yes.
Okay.
Bill Pullman, is handsome.
Yeah.
But in a much more approachable way. Like, I actually do think the casting of Peter Gallagher as a guy you'd fawn over from afar makes sense. Peter Gallagher is like, don't look at me. I'm just a goblin. Just keep moving, Peter Gallagher. Bill Pullman just seems like, the hottest guy in your high school.
Although the idea that you would just not look at 1995 Sandra Bullock as your passenger every day, she's a pretty lady. And I think
she is a pretty lady.
I don't know if this is peak because
I've heard great
Speed
things.
exists, but she's very cute in this movie.
What about Speed? What about Speed 2 Cruise Control?
That's what I'm saying. I said I don't know if it's peak because Speed exists. So
I see. I'm sorry.
I phrased that perfectly, and you just didn't understand.
Pete, as a reference to Pete Buttigieg. So I was completely confused.
No, Pete Moss exists. Therefore, this is second place. So, yeah, I guess, he's striking looking. So I could see why you would, I think he does a good job playing a douche, too. Because you can tell just by his mannerisms, he doesn't really look her in the eye. He does. He's like not completely. Like
he's not rude or
he's nice to like the lady he lets take his seat, but he's just kind of like you could see.
I like the slow reveal after he wakes up that he might be a douchebag.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between this and Bridget Jones because we learned that she's a piece of shit. In that movie, we're establishing that. In this, we're like, no, she's just lonely, and she's, got this sort of reason.
Bridget Jones is a piece of shit?
Yeah.
Why?
We established that real quickly in the movie that she's a bit of a dirtbag.
Because of the smoking?
Go back and listen to the episode.
No, I'm not going to do that.
We covered Bridget Jones earlier this year. Bridget Jones's Diary.
Bridget Jones.
Go listen to it. Check it out. Speaking of casting, the granddaughter she's not the granddaughter. She's their little sister.
Yeah.
Peter and Jax. That was weird. But you made me think about their familial age differences too much, where I'm like, you could have just made her a little bit older. But she had a really good Chicago accent. So good casting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They probably saw her on the street and like, you have to be in this. What if we give them a much younger sister for no reason? And she loves Bill Pullman. It's bordering on that Folgers commercial that everyone thought was incestuous.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
brunettes. Cool. It was like, okay.
That's weird that you even bring it up.
Why?
I also will say, I just didn't find this. The premise is very like farcical. It's not a real jokey comedy though.
Yeah.
I was not into this. And I love being sucked in by a romantic comedy. I don't care how ludicrous it is. This was not turning my rom-com crank.
What about the bit that they only did a couple of times, but where especially Elsie, which is Glennis John's character, and Saul sort of lose track of who's saying what, and it happens twice where I can't remember what all the things were.
The one was like they were arguing.
I said Cesar Romero was tall. That's all I said.
They were arguing. Peter Boyle and Jack Warner are having a conversation about tall actors, and then Jack Warner and Glennis Johns are having a conversation about actors who are Latino, and it all gets tangled up in each other, which is also delightfully accurate.
Yeah, I did. And they're like, he wasn't Spanish. I didn't say
I never said he was Spanish. Cesar Romero, the Joker.
I said he was
the
tall.
Joker.
Wouldn't shave his mustache.
Son of a bitch. Now there would be an internet campaign about Cesar Romero not shaving off his mustache. You hear he's not shaving off his mustache for the Joker? Worst Batman ever.
Bring me the Adam West cut. Midge. I just like that there's someone named Midge. That's the mom.
Who's Midge in this?
The mom. Nicole Mercurio.
Yeah, I tried to. She has such a familiar face. She passed away in 2016. But I couldn't recognize anything else she had been in.
She's from Chicago.
Apparently she's in The Client.
Oh. How about that? No, she's
also in Flashdance. She was a client of a newspaper business. That what? No, that's nothing.
No, I just
were you won over? You love their chemistry. You think they're, the quintessential romantic comedy couple.
No, I think he's charming, and I think they seem to have some connection. They do like immediately have a rapport. Yeah. I don't know if it's the best.
I found that it wasn't the most rapport. It felt like the movie's like, see their rapport? And I'm like, I see you showing me these scenes of them laughing, but I don't feel a rapport.
You weren't buying it.
I think him not trusting her at the beginning is fine. And again, good eye. Yeah. Good detective skills, Bill. But like, there was a little too many instances of him like walking in at the wrong moment.
Seeing her just like
seeing her like gently hugging someone, and he's like, see, and then like him trying to do a Seinfeldian, like it's the lean in. I'm like, you're not doing whatever this speech is supposed to be is not working right. And I was like, stop dicking me around. Either make them hate each other or give it up and just have them like feel very awkward because, he thinks that she's in a relationship with his brother. Again, she is a liar and a thief.
I thought it was weird that they kept doing that, like you mentioned, but also he's never mad. He just like walks away, and then she's like, Jack, wait. And then he's like, immediately.
And then she explains it, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, why do you keep, I don't know. It's like first she's hugging him, and then I can't remember what the other, there was at least.
I think this goes to my theory that like Act 3 is a lot of like hoping a conclusion will materialize and them realizing it's never going to happen. We have to, it just feels like a lot of like track being laid before the train. Like, what if we give what if Peter Gallagher wakes up, but then we convince him he has amnesia? And what if Saul keeps saying he's going to tell the family and he never does? And what if Bill Pullman sees like her hug Joe Jr.? And what if this and what if that? I'm like, just have her come clean already. What if the fiance comes home, and what if she actually has a husband, and what if this and what if that? And it's so fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
I also want to say I really
be a ticking clock kind of,
I guess, but they never established what the clock was.
Yeah.
Because he can leave the hospital and go to his home. Although if he went to his home, he would go to the answering machine message and he would see that cat.
Yeah. Why is this cat still alive? I've been in a coma.
Also, why am I watching the cat of the woman who moved away?
You were going to say something. Sorry, interrupt.
I was going to say something, and I appreciate that you brought it up, that I was going to say it.
While you think of it.
Thank you.
Lauren almost took the side of the movie for a moment because she's like, what is she supposed to do? The cat's she found a can of cat food in Peter's things and was like, oh, he has a cat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lonely cat lady. I got to go save this cat. And I was like, this is psychopathic, because she takes his keys that she now has and goes into his apartment. I'm like, this is crazy. And then Lauren for a second goes, well, but there's a cat. And I was like, call his apartment and just say, there's a cat.
Yeah.
This is someone who does
also,
not want to interact with a cat,
what's his fucking name? Bill Pullman shows up in the apartment anyway, so he would have seen that cat and probably done something, not let it die. I remember what I wanted. I really wanted, it felt like, Chekhov's fiance was hanging over the entire movie, and I was like, when is she going to arrive and be like a stone cold bitch? And I really only got like a slightly cooler than room temperature hard lady. And I'm like, I really wanted like, maybe not, I wanted like the stepmom in the Parent Trap type deal.
Yeah.
Like a villain.
Yeah, she doesn't really, because we hear two messages, and we see her walk in and she's like, you're new here, to the doorman who doesn't know who she is. So she's,
and he was
kind
new.
of, yeah, and he was. She's kind of rude. And you obviously established that they have a weird relationship because he has to marry her. We don't know that she's married until she busts up the wedding with her husband.
Which is also weird that he's there in tow.
Yeah, like she brought him.
Yeah, like did they share a cab to the hospital chapel wedding?
I think that's supposed to be a comedically chaotic thing. We're just like, all these things are coming to a head at once. They're finding out. They're, breaking up the wedding. The fiance's coming home, and then, but it doesn't really coalesce. It's just kind of like, I see,
yeah,
I feel like I see what they're trying to do, but I'm like, this is not funny or chaotic enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could have used a lot more madcapedness for my taste.
If we're going that route.
If we're going to lie to a family about their comatose son,
which we are,
let's do this. Also, I mean, it did take a maudlin take sometimes, and I was really confused because everyone's just acting like Peter Gallagher's character is like on vacation, the way everyone's acting.
They don't
like,
seem
he'll
very
be back.
concerned.
I'm like, he's in a coma.
Yeah.
Your son is in a coma. No one seems to be all that bothered. They're like, well, I guess Christmas was canceled for 18 hours. And then we're going to have Christmas, together with this woman we just met. And everyone's just going to be all smiles and laughing and having fun, even though Peter is in the hospital in a coma. And we don't know when he's going to get out of it.
To defend them for just a moment, Peter seemed like kind of a piece of shit.
He did hit those squirrels with a rock and then claimed he saved them.
Yeah, what was that story? I don't really...
I didn't care enough to make a memory beyond what I've already told you. Like, my brain's like, I'm not keeping this.
Quick side conversation. What's your opinion on the flat-faced cats? As a cat guy. Catman.
The gray cat that he's watching for, what's her name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I liked that cat. That cat looked cute. He looked
pretty cute.
Like he had some sort of genetic issues going on, and I love that. I love that in an animal. Love it.
I've been bred for beauty. You sure have.
The Chinese emperor bred me to look like this. I can't give live birth because my hips are too narrow.
I'm beautiful. Take me home. That'll be $1,500, lady. Thank you.
You don't know this yet, but Instagram's going to love me when they invent it in 11 years.
I actually don't know that I have anything else. Okay, one question. This is just a general question about the Chicago Transit Authority. Do they not?
DJ, you came to the right place.
Do they not have a protocol for if someone falls on the tracks?
It seems like it's just the toll booth lady, and she is the only employee there because it's
no
Christmas.
One's there. There's not a security guard. There's not a policeman. There's not anyone else on the track except for those teens that ran away. And she doesn't know what to do. This is never
accurate teen behavior.
Ever fallen onto the? You're there every day. No one's ever fallen, or just.
Whenever
I
go to New York, I don't travel in Chicago a lot, but whenever I go to New York, I'm like, this is just open like this?
This is happening. Surely someone is dying every day here. If my video feeds on the social media is to be believed, I know New York subways are flooding every single day. And I assume someone is also being hit by a train. Anyway, I just was concerned because she didn't she doesn't know how, then she's like, oh, a train's coming.
Surely there is some protocol.
There are train tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly.
And she's like having a conversational style with him. Like, there's a train coming very fast. You need to wake up. And then she rolls into that alcove.
Good thing that alcove was there.
That's the protocol, Deej. You mock her, and then she followed the protocol perfectly. You want to talk to him in a charming, carefree, effervescent manner that is winning the 4 quadrants of movie viewership. And then, when he does not respond to that, you roll in a counterclockwise fashion into the alcove. And then you trick his family.
And then subterfuge. Would you care to take the L to the verdict, my friend?
Yes. Is it legal to have a verdict in a problematic corner, or do we need to leave the problematic corner to get to the verdict?
I think here's a little secret. If you pull on this book over here, there's a secret shelf right to the verdict. Shelf,
just like
door.
A clue. Wait.
Damon.
Wait. Stop the train.
Okay.
I'm pulling that little cord. We didn't, I wanted to tell you about my Catherine O'Hara.
Okay. Well, you could do that in your, go ahead. The floor is yours. This is your verdict.
Joe Jr. is my Catherine O'Hara winner.
I just I found him too creepy. It was like over the line for me. I can't.
But he's struggling with his identity. He wants to try on her high heels. He's very familiar with her underwear situation. And I got the feeling like it wasn't because, he lusted for her. I think he masks his own sexuality with lustfulness.
Listen.
With a performative greasiness.
That's how I describe my
Joe
guitar
Jr.,
style.
come on. It's better on the other side.
I cannot endorse this because...
Okay, then I'm fine with seconding Glynis Johns.
Listen, just because he might be queer experimental doesn't mean you can't be misogynistic by not giving it.
Oh, no, trust me, I've met a lot of gay men that are very misogynistic.
Do you have a single scene nominee? Sally Field Memorial Single Scene Award?
Actually, I'll give it to the Cesar Romero isn't Spanish scene.
Okay.
I did like the family more than anyone else.
Yeah, either that or when they first appear in the hospital. I think either one, you can kind of immediately see how charmed she is by the whole thing. It's nice.
I did appreciate arguing during Mass as well.
That's good. You can't you can't hurt me. We're in church.
I like Mass better in Latin. It's better when you don't know what they're saying. Agreed.
Pretty good.
Okay, yes, I'm ready for my verdict, Mr. DeMille. Your Inner Child is an idiot. There are better high-concept rom-coms. Sleepless in Seattle, going 2 years back. My Best Friend's Wedding, going 2 years forward. And at least My Best Friend's Wedding recognizes that she is the villain. That she is the bad guy. And should not be rewarded with everlasting love. So yeah, this is a non-starter for me. I didn't like it. I think, as we said, I think it could have been a little zany or a little jokier, and I think I would have taken my medicine a little bit better in terms of this really problematic premise. But because it sort of played it straight, at least in terms of a rom-com, I was not interested. I did not buy the chemistry between Pullman and Bullock.
Pullman and Bullock, attorneys at law.
And I even think the family could have been more charming, even though they were our favorite parts of this movie. I even think that was like, well, someone's got to get an award, don't they? So, yeah, I'm not interested in this movie. I feel like it was a very premise-forward movie, and it felt like they really had to force themselves to cobble together an Act 1 and an Act 3. And even Act 2 wasn't that great either. So, yeah, Your Inner Child's an idiot. Deej, what did you think?
I'm right on the borderline. Your Inner Child, I think Your Inner Child is an idiot. But barely. If they had landed the plane, I feel like I would be on board.
There ain't no landing this plane.
But
you're on board of a plane.
On board, I would have gone through TSA.
If they had landed the plane, you would have been on board of the plane. But if they hadn't landed it, you would have somehow still been in the airport.
It would be a Final Destination situation. You would have seen ahead of time.
Nope, it doesn't. No, this whole thing, I don't like it, and I'm not getting on that plane. He is a coma victim. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I think that's the big point that I keep coming back to is how just upsetting the whole premise is. If you really think about it, or if you place anyone you know in any of these positions, just hypothetically, you go like, oh, ugh. It's real gross.
And now you want me to have a relationship with this woman who lied to us?
Yeah.
For the rest of my life?
Yeah.
And she destroyed the business I worked so hard to build with my sons? My sons!
You're Peter Boyle's character right now. You're Ox. That's where your perspective. As always, you're definitely taking the side of Peter Boyle, as always.
When in doubt, I love the Shadows Peter Boyle.
I think this is going to surprise you as someone who is, canonically uncharmed as much as everyone else by Sandra Bullock, or at least historically. She's very charming in this. She's pretty, and they set up a good, I don't know, they do a pretty good job with her character of just like, this is her situation. It's not just as you mentioned, she has friends. She has a good relationship, but she doesn't have a family and she doesn't have a romantic partner, which is a different kind of lonely. So
she relies on skullduggery to meet men.
I'm going to give them a little bit of that. She's kind of sad sacking her way through, romance, because she also doesn't think she's worthy of a relationship because she's like, I'm a loser. I had this track where I was in school and I was studying to do this and that. And then, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also like, they just didn't really land any of these things. I agree that they didn't quite get the chemistry with her and Bill Pullman. It's there. There's like a bit of a spark to me, but it's not fully there. They didn't kind of fully develop it enough. The family, as you said, I think you really hit the nail on the head with their relationship to Peter's coma is kind of, I know it's a comedy, but it's played pretty straight and they're not sort of reckoning with it at all. They even, in the first scene, Ox mentions, or is it Ox or Saul mentions that it would break Elsie, the grandma's heart, if she couldn't take this truth.
Right. That is sort of the Damocles over the whole movie is that, oh no, Glynis Johns will have a heart attack and die.
We don't really see anything about that though. We don't really follow through with that. We don't see that she's fragile. We don't see that she's upset. We don't see that she's mourning, potentially mourning Peter. We don't get any of that. So you're just sort of like, well, you're just telling me that. And she's joking about having a heart condition, and that makes it all less effective. So I think it's all like 75% to me. Like it's 75% chemistry, 75% comedy. Like it's almost there. And then we just didn't finish it. So you're a child's an idiot. And I do think, to contradict both you and I for a second, that I do think if this movie held a place in your heart as a child or as a young person and you came back to it, I think you're still going to like it. I think it's got all the elements that you're looking for. But I think if you never watched it or kind of had no relationship with it like you and I, it's like, no.
If you had a relationship with this movie when you were a child, you need to stop lying to that family and let them grieve their son. You are a monster.
He's alive. He's back. He's fine. They were right about that. You got to give him that.
You got to give him that.
You got to give Turtletop that.
The writers and director of this movie that had a script knew he was going to be okay.
What do you think, everybody? Email us. You're in a child's an idiot at gmail.com. You can text us or leave us a voicemail, 615-576-0525. We want to thank I've been meaning to mention this more often.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Robin on Replay for editing our episodes. Thank you to Jackson for the Problematic Corner. We lived inside.
Lived it. We put pictures up.
Jackson made the delightful theme music of that. And my friend Russell Weaver, the use of his song Top 2 for our ad music. We want to thank our patrons for supporting the show, including
Lindsay Halik.
Dramatically placed hot dog.
Holiday classic, Jingle All the Way.
Okay, you need to do this. It's been requested that you do this fully in your Arnold voice.
Oh, hold on. I have to. I didn't mean California. Okay, holiday classic, Jingle All the Way.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. Holiday classic, Jingle All the Way.
I just have to say California one time in his voice. California.
Josh Frigo. I'm going to give you the Bill Pullman.
Be here forever. Travis Vance.
Larissa Maestro.
The elusive fan Gromkin.
Jackson.
No. Demons Illustrating.
Lindsay Nell.
Jonathon Day.
Jeremy Powlen.
Tommy Boy is my personal favorite movie.
The Hands of Fate.
His Honor the Mayor.
The Zesty.
Stu-StusStuartJ.
Particle Man.
Zachary Hartley.
Dr. Malcolm's Heaving. Bosom.
The supreme ruler of this podcast.
T. Smith.
Caroline Amberson.
Tippi von Cheaterly.
Shit on the Cartouche.
It had the cadence of a joke.
Karen Kurd.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Lil Miss Chicken Nugget.
Bill Haynes.
And Beth Surmont.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Very much. We very much appreciate it. If you want to support us
if
on
you were in
Patreon.
comas, each and every one of you, I would trick your family into thinking we were getting married.
That's how much we love you. If you want to receive that kind of love, patreon.com/Aaron an idiot. Oh God, we're losing patrons.
Oh no.
Everyone's out.
We're seeing it live. Somehow they're hearing this.
The ticker is going down. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.